tattoos don't reside in museums, tattoos don't reside in books, tattoos reside in people. It's the only art form with a breathing, living canvas, right, and has an expiry date, while being a totally permanent art form.
Kula comes from the word kul, and kul is a clan, a tribe, a community. The world is going so uncertain, and art is going into you versus me, traditional work versus modern work. I was like, no man, this world has enough space for all of us to coexist. So Kula built this platform for a coexistence, for a shared future. If we look deep into our roots, we are all connected. That's what the third edition is about.
So all the motif that I have here is, protection, guidance, healing, bravery. During old times, our ancestors, they will get tattoo before they go to war because it's their amulet, so it's their protection. But in another tribe also, after they killed someone, when they come home, they will get tattoo as the reward.
Literature suggests, or documentation suggests, that tattooing is about 3,500 years old in India. Like all good things in the country, so to say, the natural resources and the diversity of it, you can find that reflecting in our tattoo history. It originates from the jungles, and it originates from seashores and mountains. So you will find traces of India's traditional and tribal tattooing history right from the mountains of Nagaland, when you flow towards the jungles, towards the heartland of the country. As you either move towards the western side of Rajasthan and Gujarat, where you will see the desert tattooing traditions, and you also, when you move down towards either of our coastlines, whether the western coastline or the eastern coastline, you will again find traces of our tribal tattooing history. You will find the traces of tribal tattooing where man hunted, or where man gathered, or where man rested, man or woman, obviously, for that matter. That is the historical part, I believe, of Indian tattooing and our rich connection.
सभी जातियों का उत्पत्ति हो जाने के बाद में ही हमारे जाति का उत्पत्ति हुई है, इसीलिए से शायद हमारे जाति का नाम भी बादी और बदनीन पड़ी है। तो हमारे पूर्वजों को प्राचीन कालों से चली आ रही ये गुदना करना ही है। गुंडरी बनाते थे और गुदना करते थे, चटाई डहकी वाद्य भी होते हैं, वो भी बजाते थे, लेकिन अब वो सब लुप्त हो गए हैं।
Especially in the tattoo world, we all are enthralled by Ramnami tattoos because of the visual brilliance of it. Ramnami people essentially have the Hindi text Ram written as a spiral form, central point of their forehead, and it goes Ram, 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 right across their faces, their necks, their bodies, their arms, their legs, right till the end of the under of their feet. So the Ramnami community are lower caste people who used to be barred from entering the temples of their gods by the upper caste people. And this was a sign of non-violent protest by the Ramnami people, of them saying that, God resides in us and our bodies are our temples. So if you don't let us enter your temples, we will turn our bodies and decorate them into temples. While we do not maybe have as big a taboo as towards tattoos in today's date, it's still quite out of the ordinary to see a person head to toe tattooed. Especially we can't overlook, I think, the caste angle, right? Like them being from lower caste doesn't help it. For these reasons, there is a decline in these practices, and this is just one instance. there is a bigger story that is unwrapping, while the communities may be shying away from the hardbound traditional methods and rules and the textbook of their tattooing, but even they are mixing more with the world of tattooing now. But in India, there is always, I think, going to be a caste barrier in terms of totally being able to reincorporate tribal tattooing traditions into the modern urban fabric. The moment you say it's a tribal tattoo, the ones who are appreciating it are a very minority number. The ones who are appropriating it are basically looking at it as exotica. It's not just about spirituality. It's not just about like, oh my god, this comes from jungle, it's 1,000 years old, and therefore I'll have a piece of it on me. For example, the tree or the peacock or the deer, we see less and less of nature around us in these concrete spaces. I feel more and more when people in our country get to see tribal tattoos in their own space, they will find a way to reconnect with things that are becoming increasingly distant from them. The electric tattooing journey of India started from the streets at the time when French and English sailors would come into the docks of Bombay and some of the other ports of India during colonization. But that then progressed towards small studios to now India having many giant, beautiful studios. So in terms of an industry, we have really grown. It is one of the oldest artistic professions out there. If you're a fine arts and then a painter artist, you're an artist. We still don't define that as a profession. But tattooing is for the have-nots. Tattooing is for the ones who want to belong while they stand out. And I think indigenous tattooing is not just to be exoticized, not just to be remembered posthumously in books and in literature, and not just to be captured by high profile photographers and to be shown at big galleries and fancy exhibitions over a glass of wine, but it is to be exhibited on skin, and it is to be experienced with people at a very ground level. That is the true experience of it,